How we doing? Johnny Concert here. Welcome to the podcast, Johnny Concert Podcast. My main man, Ledbelly, right here. Ledbelly!
Hey, thanks for letting me come by again, Johnny.
You bet, dude. So good to see you. Now, we got old Rob Reiner, man. What the hell's going on there? His son stabbed him? Yeah. And his wife? Come on, man.
Got through 2025, and then we hear this.
Yeah. Dude. Well, the worst is the holidays, too.
The last weekend, it's been nuts.
You know, your holidays are ruined for the rest of your life. That's the worst part. No, I'm kidding. But his son, I mean, I don't understand it, dude.
Killings.
Rob Reiner was, Meathead on Follow the Family might be too old for some viewers, but in general, I mean, All the Family was just groundbreaking. What a heck of a show. Oh, Archie. Yeah. Edith was the best. Edith Bunker, Archie Bunker.
Undeniable influencer in Hollywood. No, I mean,
that's true.
Look at all the kind words that are being said about him now. But
true. But such a unillustrious beginnings. With the Meathead and the show. He was such a knucklehead.
The liberal,
the quintessential liberal that lived in the conservative's house.
Yeah, fighting.
In those days, what liberals and conservatives were, or whatever. Yeah. The racist white supremacist, whatever.
Well,
dad, the liberal,
essentially, yeah.
flower power college student kid. It was hilarious. I don't know about those colored folk, Edith.
Yeah,
it was hilarious. The Jeffersons lived next door, then they became the Jeffersons. Because they had the dry cleaning store, and then they came over and talked shit to Archie Bunker. Then they moved on up. But that worked nicely. It was a good show. Yeah, it was a hilarious show.
Dichotomy of black and white.
Well, I think that's who he was too, Rob Reiner back then, and that's so he played the part. I think he just kind of played himself.
Well, it's interesting.
I think he had to do a lot.
That show was a lot of it was based on the controversial topics that they made the show what people wanted to actually tune into. It turns out it was number one is what I heard for 5 years, almost every week.
That's crazy. Well, it's kind of like the original. Racism, the woke show or whatever. Before that was a thing, But they did it in a way better way because it was just, nowadays they'd be censoring half those episodes,
They capitalized on it on a conflict essentially.
Because it's fucking funny, man.
And made fun of bigotry and prejudice and bias and racism
which are completely different things, Because prejudice is just
Archie was just
be prejudiced. You
just a head case. He was a closed-minded guy. That was the whole thing. He had his ways, and they were essentially against. It was a white-based kind of
absolutely
prejudice, if you will, but. He didn't recognize it, That's the world.
He didn't even really know he was racist.
They would constantly point it out to him.
He didn't think of it as racism. He was just like, that's just who he was. It was hilarious because he was so kind of oblivious of even being a racist.
Yeah, this is the way it is, kind of deal.
It was a cutting edge show for sure, especially back then. But people, I don't think it upset people anywhere near what it would upset people nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
It's gone so far.
Radically politically incorrect, really.
But that's who he remained, too. He was always like that. And, he fell into total Trump derangement syndrome. And he would go on Bill Maher and he thought the democracy was dying and Trump was a Hitler, and et cetera, et cetera. It's it takes it way too far. It's just silly.
Yeah, that was obsessive. I understand. He's obsessed. Is what I hear now.
He's totally obsessed with it. It's dude. So I tell people if they have Trump derangement syndrome, so my friend of mine, his wife just despises Trump. It really affects her so deeply that it affects their lives and it affects their.
And that's the whole concept.
It affects
TDS is. It affects real deal.
Their relationship, and they had a daughter, and it affects. So they live in a family neighborhood, and it affects everything because she just lets it go. It just lets her bug her so bad. So she went so far as she found out that the Girl Scouts, something about the Girl Scouts were supporting Trump or something like that, and she sent a letter to everyone in the neighborhood saying, "Don't buy Girl Scout cookies because they support Donald Trump." Well, they got a bunch of girls in the neighborhood that have little daughters that sell Girl Scout cookies, dude. So now the whole neighborhood hates her, and they won't talk to her, even whether they like Trump or not. Doesn't matter. They hate her because she said don't buy Girl Scout cookies. And so now that these people that used to have them over for dinner across the street don't even talk to him anymore. And my buddy's like, dude, if you don't cut it out with the goddamn Trump shit, then we're through. I'm dead to divorce, man. And another example is my mom. My mom's never hated anyone in her entire life. She's the sweetest thing. She's a Eucharist minister at church. She serves soup to the homeless on Wednesdays, and she just hates Trump so bad that she can't even barely sleep at night. And I'm like, Mom, relax. What are you doing? It's just, how could you and also I think sometimes he does that on purpose to mess with people. He just tries to affect people. But he basically is just a brash, shit-talking New Yorker.
It is. It's his personality.
That's who he is. If you go to New York City, there's a lot of brash, shit-talking New Yorkers that are kind of like that, okay? It's not that big. It's not that weird.
He does say some stupid stuff.
So what? So do brash shit
he's
talking
also
New Yorkers.
running the country
I like knucklehead people that say stupid shit. But the thing is that I tell people that are really affected by it, I say, just check this out. Just doesn't matter who you like or who you don't like. What are you doing differently in your life? Have you significantly altered your life based on who the president is? Have you ever done that? I mean, basically, you go to the same places, but mentally, yeah. But in general, the routine of your life. Is there any different routine? I mean, are you going to? You can't go to your drum lesson. You can't do you don't have book club anymore. I don't know what's like your regular old life. Is
exactly.
It the same?
Is there a detriment, or are you just obsessive?
I mean, 9 times out of 10, it's like, yeah, we pretty much do the same thing we always did. Then what the hell's the problem, dude? It's not, you can't let it get to you like that.
The thing I don't get is, I was brought up to even my parents didn't share what their affiliations were at voting time. It's like, this is our own business. We're taking care of it. Well, keep it to yourself because these conflicts don't arise.
Well, it's so out of hand. It's just outrageous.
That's why voting is,
But
have that secrecy involved with it. You're supposed to be able to. But
you just can't get that involved because first of all, we don't know anything. You think, oh, that was a dumb decision the president made. Well, you don't know. There's 100 factors that you do know, or 10 factors you do know, 100 factors you don't know, and you can't know. You just can't know. Some of it's top secret. Some of it's you don't know. You don't know the weather. I mean, there's just too many things to know to go into a decision you don't know.
The kids are finally getting the message that they need to grow up and be president. And
well,
it's
whatever
it
is, it doesn't matter. But you can't let it. Just can't let it get to you that bad. There's no way you can do it. I mean, it separates people. I mean, families are breaking up. I mean, people are hating each other. Violence is occurring. I mean, it's
there's
just
a lot of criticism,
on,
but there's no remedies.
Well, but also
all they think there's a remedy is, maybe if the Epstein files will come out, I'll fix it.
You know what I did the other day?
What is all that? It's so fucking ridiculous.
It's so ridiculous. I watched 20 minutes of MSNBC and then 20 minutes of Fox News. Oh my God. They both said the exact opposite thing. It's the exact opposite of what this occurrence. I can't remember what the occurrence was that day, but they both made a pretty good argument. I gotta say, I was like, I could see how people on either side kind of are just 100% convinced that they're right because the way the reporting was, and it was completely ridiculous. But I gotta say, they both made a decent point. Not too good, but you know what I mean. Enough that I could see. I was saying to myself, yeah, I could see how you could watch one or the other and really think the other, but
how did they conflict? They conflicted each other. You said
not only conflicted; they were just entirely opposite, opposite. I mean, both of them were destroying democracy.
Keywords, lots of rhetorical statements.
Well, and it's just become so ridiculous that you do whatever you want to do, but you just cannot let it. You got a life to lead, dude. You got shit to do. I got shit to do, bro. I don't have time to fucking talk about it all day. Although I am obsessed with the Senate hearings lately, but that's a different story.
If you're not offering a solution, why are we talking about it? If you're not trying to find the next big thing, instead of shooting down what we actually have to work with.
Well, that's the other thing too. Is so we got an immigration problem. Why do you think people still want to come to this country? Because it's the best country ever, no matter what. It's still the best country in the world. By a million miles.
Evidently.
And sometimes I'll take a Uber or a Lyft, and get some guy from East Africa. For some reason, a lot of times they're from a little tiny country called Eritrea. And what's funny is I always say, "Where are you from?" And they say, "Oh, a little country you probably wouldn't know in Africa." I'm like, "Try me. What do you think it is? What's kind of over? Was it East Africa?" They're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Is it Eritrea?" They said, "Yeah, it is." How'd you ever heard of that? I'm like, "This weirdest thing is a lot of them come from Eritrea. It's called Eritrea, Eritrea. Excuse me. It's by Ethiopia and Somalia, kind of in that neighborhood." But anyway, they talk about how incredibly happy they are to be in America, and how just if you came to my country, they say you would be run as fast as you can out of there, and they're so appreciative because it's still the best country in the world. So, be a little upset about whatever you want to be upset about, but it's just gone way too far. It doesn't. It's just there's too many. I don't know.
Well, negativity breeds negativity.
Amen.
It's not
when the brain's negative, it wants to stay negative. When it's positive, it wants to stay positive. But either one too won't give one ounce of credit to the other one. If Donald Trump just does 50 things you hate, but he does one good thing, they still won't say, "Oh, he did a good thing there." Nope, not 1 ounce credit. And Biden haters same way. Biden lovers, Biden haters, whatever it is, they're all lost their damn minds. So and Rob Reiner was like that. But we digress. But anyway,
he did a lot of great and a lot of things.
Well, he was
remembered
hilarious.
Well for
he did entertain us, and he was great. He was a really good producer, a director, etc.
Absolutely.
But we wanted to talk a little bit about Spinal Tap because that's more up our alley. We like to talk about music. We like hard rock and heavy metal mostly, and we like everything. But we like hard rock and heavy metal is our specialty. And Spinal Tap is the mockumentary / documentary / rockumentary about band Spinal Tap.
Yeah,
the fictitious heavy metal band Spinal Tap. Funny stuff.
If not a cult classic, then it's also just basically known as one of the best mockumentaries ever made.
It is, and I would call it a cult classic for sure. But it's bigger than that. I think it's bigger than that.
Yeah, it started out as that because he makes the premise was a certain I think a lot of people are familiar with the premise, but there was no script for it.
So there was no script. They improvised a lot of it. They did. But it was just basically 4 knuckleheads that saw each other in Hollywood a lot because they were either on the same shows or they were on the same, they were in the studio next to each other or whatever it was. They kept crossing back and forth. They all loved rock and roll. Yeah. And they would all start making fun of these. They were all jokers, man. Harry Shearer and Michael McKeon and Christopher Guest and Rob Reiner. And they would make fun of the latest mockumentary they saw, rockumentary, not mockumentary.
Yeah.
And
so the rock scene was pretty big. It was on its epoch at the time.
That's right. Good point. It's not quite as high as pop and hip hop these days, is it?
So finding a niche as an actor producer, he was like genuine gold, really, because the way he pulled that off. But a lot of people associate as far as a lot of the scenes kind of just ring true kind of thing. So it's a brilliant piece of work. And then he just went on to do a lot of really genuinely great movies, I think. So
that's true too. But he, they would always joke with each other about rock and roll, and because it's a classic rock archetype. The band's a garage band, and they're really into it, and they're really serious, and they start getting really good, and then they say, "Well, we're actually pretty talented. Let's do this thing." They get a couple albums out, and then also they hit it big, and then they take tons of drugs and they lose their damn minds because everyone's kissing their ass everywhere they go. So they think they get a power trip all of a sudden. They think they're a god. So then they bring the choir in and the freaking symphony in to record an album and whatever, and then they
trust the record
fire
company.
One of the guys because they have creative differences, and they basically lose their mind. And then they make a documentary, and they come off as just so fake and like it's just like so obtuse. They think they're so dang important that it just becomes hilarious. They become parodies of themselves basically. And so they kept making fun of that. So then, like, wait a minute, what if we did a film about this? What if we really did this and put the band together and did it? So then they had to create a whole backstory of each player of each character in the film, because what they did was they would improvise each scene, but you had to know where you were coming from to improvise, right? So they had a backstory, a fake history, basically, for years, decades of each character
development,
and then they would, where they were from, what their dad did for a living, what they played in high school, what sports or whatever, every little thing, a bunch of little things like that, so they could make fun of each other's past, and it was all fake history. But then they would improv it. It was hilarious. just so stupid. It was hilarious.
Yeah, it's absolute gold, and we're hoping that our friend actually seen the second Spinal Tap will call up.
Our Spinal Tap expert. We might have a Spinal Tap expert.
He's actually seen the
new
new movie that was only in theaters maybe 3 weeks this summer, I believe, and I've heard good things about it. I've been wanting to see it.
Now, is that Spinal Tap 2 or Spinal Tap 3?
Spinal Tap 2.
That's 2.
With the old boys, coming out. All three of the guys come back, and so did Marty DeBurgi, a.k.a. Rob Reiner.
That's right. Good call.
And
Marty DeBurgi. How'd they come up with these names?
He's the
Spinal Tap. Why do they call it Spinal Tap? That's hilarious.
That one is a great quandary for sure, because it fits, now that everybody's seen it, but we'd like to know anybody's interpretation.
That's right. Leave a comment if you know
how does that fit into is it symbolically interwoven into something that we haven't explored?
Well, I was watching a show about an interview about it, and they said they had a whole list of names, and they kept trying to decide what to do before they decided on Spinal Tap. But one of the characters, Derek Smalls, the bass player, played by Harry Shearer. And Harry Shearer he's a force of nature. He's a wonder. He's does 10, 12 voices on The Simpsons, or Harry Shearer. He does Mr. Burns. He does, excuse me.
Reverend Lovejoy.
He does Hibbert. He does a bunch of them. Who else? Principal Skinner. Yeah, he does a ton of them. But which is interesting. And then he used to write. I'm pretty sure it was Saturday Night Live, or was it SCTV, or both? I think it was Saturday Night Live.
Yeah,
he used to be a writer on Saturday Night Live.
Reference sounds right.
And so he's all kinds of stuff like that. He's just a comedic genius, as he is. So that they just every little idiosyncrasy of rock stars, and every little thing they can poke fun at. All the drummers dying, so all the drummers in the band keep dying of silly. It's almost like Monty Python-esque sometimes, the silliness, pure silliness.
Yeah, that's why I'm looking forward to the new one to see what kind of weird things I've heard. There's lots of cameos and.
I love a good cameo. They didn't call me. They didn't ask me for a cameo. I would have done it.
Storyline. I think they want to kill Elton John or something.
Well, that's because everybody tries to be Elton John, like Axl Rose. I remember Matt Sorum, the drummer for Guns N' Roses at the time, who I think he played The Cult. He played in a bunch of other bands too. He came in, and they were the studio was set up when they walked in. They hadn't seen each other in a while, and he looks over and says, "Who the fuck brought the piano, dude? We're a hard rock band. What the hell are we doing?" And that's when Axl tried to be Elton John for a little while, and it's hilarious because they each fall. You'd think somebody would study that pattern, a famous rock star, or maybe an agent or a manager, and say, "Dude, don't fall into that, because here's what you're about to do next, and don't do it, dude." Then you got to apologize for it 10 years ago and behind the music 10 years later. And we're really sorry about that album, bro. We didn't know what we were doing. We were so high. We didn't just put out a crappy album. And
Dave is calling.
There's our Spinal Tap expert.
We're going to talk to our friend.
Our Spinal Tap expert.
Dave, did I hang up on you earlier?
No. It's all good. We weren't ready yet, but that's cool. What's up?
Man.
We're talking about Spinal Tap. This is Johnny
We're here
Concert.
at the
How you
Alley
doing?
Studios doing our podcast.
Yeah, we're at Alley Studios, Dave Fox's studio. Yeah.
I love that movie. I saw the part 2. I really love the part 2 as well, man. I got to see it again, maybe like 10 more times, probably, to catch all the jokes and all. But it was a classic movie. Classic.
Good stuff.
I loved it. Yeah. Paul McCartney drops the F-bomb, a couple times, which you never heard, probably.
That's right. Paul's in the movie.
And then I love the last part of the movie where the Stonehenge almost kills Ellen John, which was great. It was great. They do Stonehenge or whatever, and then they have a real big Stonehenge that finally comes down, and then it kills almost the band, and everybody else is fucking crazy. But
I love it. How funny is that?
It was classic. It was classic, dude. I mean, any real Spinal Tap fan would enjoy that movie, because I laughed my way all the way through it. It was really good. But how you guys up to, man? What do you guys think about it?
Well, we were just talking about how it kind of follows the classic rock archetype, where the band is a serious band, and then they get too big for their britches, and then everybody treats them like God, so they think they're a god, and then they take too many drugs, and they all of a sudden they got this inflated ego, and they make a documentary and say the dumbest shit. They don't realize how funny they're coming off, And so it's just.
When the first time I saw the movie originally, way back in the day, the first Spinal Tap, I didn't know if it was real or not. I thought maybe maybe it was. I thought it was a documentary. I was watching like Channel 12 or some kind of shit like that. And I'm like, I go, what the fuck? And then after a while, I realized, oh fuck, wait a minute, that's it's Mike McKee and all these guys.
I think they're just kidding.
It was classic though, but I know that I became a fan all as well. I even went and bought their tape cassette. Even I like all those songs, man.
Yeah.
All of them.
What's your favorite one? What's your favorite song?
Right.
I think I want to try to do the Big Bottom
Big
song.
Bottoms.
Like with all three bass, like people are playing bass in the band at the same time. That is
That's
classic,
brilliant.
dude.
My girl's got 'em.
Make it all heavy. It'd be so low, it might make people maybe shit their pants. I don't know.
Big Bottoms drive me out of my mind.
Yeah. I forgot that's how they play it with a lot of bass.
Bottoms,
So they, is it out of my mind or out of my head? Big Bottoms drive me out of my mind. And then they say, the bigger the cushion, the sweeter the push.
You guys are too much, man.
So
Right
stupid,
on. That's
dude.
cool.
So stupid. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So,
Right on, man.
I remember they were talking about the drummers. They said, "How the second drummer
Oh, yeah.
died?" Well, he choked on on vomit, But we're not sure whose vomit it was.
The one guy who exploded and he left a little green stain on the drums. See, it's like a flash.
He spontaneously combusted.
Yeah, something like that.
So then they say talk about the vomit, and Nigel's like, "Well, you can't really dust for vomit, like fingerprints. So we don't know whose vomit it was."
For vomit, yeah. Also, the one scene with the drummer, he's sitting in the bathtub. He's like, "Well, fuck, if I had the sex and the drugs, I guess I wouldn't need the rock and roll."
Well, sex, drugs, rock and roll. Again, we got to eat something first. We're starving to
All
death.
right, yeah, don't even go there. I know everything about Spinal Tap. I was a fan. I'm a fan.
Keep telling us more. Keep telling us more.
No, I gotta go, you guys. I wanted to chime in with you guys. But
Okay. Well, you got to come down to the studio and sit in with us.
You guys want to talk stuff about movies and have fun like that? I think I've seen almost every movie probably. So
We're doing it every Tuesday, so you got to come down and sit in with us.
We'll have you as a guest.
All right.
Yep,
All right.
absolutely.
In person, that is. So thanks for joining us.
That sounds fun. I'll come down, play a little guitar for you guys or whatever.
We'd love that too. Absolutely.
Exactly.
We would love that.
We're talking about. That's what this generally topic is: the
yeah.
rock and roll
Rock and
lifestyle,
roll, baby.
and the good old days, and the.
And I'm still here. So how do you explain that?
Well, that's part of it. We want you to explain it. Absolutely. All
Thanks
right,
again,
thanks
Dave.
for calling in, buddy.
You have to get us a picture so we can throw you up on the.
Okay, yeah, I
teleprompter or whatever.
I can send the most current picture, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, buddy. Good to hear from
Do
you.
it.
Thanks for calling, my man.
Yeah, great. You guys keep up the good work.
Nice chatting with you.
Thanks,
Rock and
buddy.
roll.
Rock and roll.
Okay, over and out. That was our resident expert, our Spinal Tap expert, Dave Martinez.
Yeah, he told me about that. He reviewed that for me after he'd seen it. So I was like, oh, yeah, you called me today and like, have you seen that movie? I was like, no, but I have heard a review of it.
I can't believe we didn't go. I bet it was like a good party, like opening night.
I know. I do feel left out.
I wonder if people dressed up like they did for Rocky Horror Picture Show type of thing, Everybody dresses up as their favorite character. These amps go to 11. How did they come up with all those silly things? I wonder if he improv that part, because it was just like, well, they didn't, because they had the amp that went up to 11.
Yeah, that was they actually had the prop.
And Rob Reiner says, well, why didn't you just make each level a little louder so it's still the same volume at the end, but it's level 10, He says, yeah, but they just go to 11. Like, what?
The ultimate vaudevillian classic.
Like he doesn't even understand the thought
man
process of
comedy.
Because there's always one louder. That's 11, bro. Come on.
Yeah, and it's like a rhetorical statement.
Well, think about how many times you're at the concert. So people say it all the time. It's just like, oh, dude, did your amp go to 11, bro? Ha.
Yeah.
It's an ongoing joke for what, 40 years?
I'm certain. I'm almost certain that the phrasing is trademarked. I don't know.
Good point. Good point. If not, I'm putting it on a T-shirt sold on my Etsy store. By the way, Johnny Concert, I do have an Etsy store. Johnny Concert's Club, it's called.
Yeah.
Yes, if you please visit. We got lots of good stuff. T-shirts and hats and Johnny Concert stuff and just other generic stuff. It's hilarious. So, but old Rob Reiner, man. So what? I don't know how far we want to go into the psychology of that bullshit.
Yeah, well, I think we're all listening to hear what comes out on that, because it is a real disturbing story.
Come on, people.
That's
Life's pretty good,
a
man.
family dysfunction that no one wants to hear. That's something like
Well,
that.
it still boggles my mind that we live in the safest time, the most prosperous time, the most comfortable time in the history of the world. I mean, think about they just got air conditioning like the last 100 years. You think about not having air conditioning, you can't even live like that anymore. Yeah. Cable TV, we got DoorDash, we live like kings. You can go to Walmart and get like a whole wardrobe for $20. You know, it's pretty comfortable, pretty stylish. You know, everything's. It's like comfort surrounds us everywhere.
Did not know that.
You know, they didn't even have hot water. 100 years ago.
Well, I get your point.
You know,
totally,
come
bro.
on,
I mean,
dude.
100
We're so
years ago, they were
comfortable.
busting their balls fucking 6 weeks a day. 6 days a week.
When they woke up, they had to how are we going to eat today? You know, it's not
right.
You know,
just to even get to work was a chore.
You got your basic needs. You know, your shelter, your hunger, your water. You know, drinking. You know, thirst and et cetera, et cetera. But you got clothing but once you get those covered, which we obviously have covered, then you go towards Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You know, we'll go towards self-actualization. But what we've become now is we overthink everything. We think ourselves to death because we got nothing to do. You know, we really need to build a bridge over that river. Oh, they already have built a bridge over that river. Oh yeah, well we need to invent a thing that could drive us around and get us places. Well, we already have those. It's kind of already been done, and we're almost too. It's almost too good. I think we think we got it too good. And so people just sit around and drive themselves insane with their own thoughts. It's ridiculous. The highest levels of depression, highest level of obesity, and we got all the information at our fingertips, and we got all the comforts, and we just, there's a gym every 5 feet. We got the biggest obesity problem. There's a gym every fucking 5 feet for $10 a month. So, what are we doing? I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. No, so cut the crap, people. You got to get something to do. People have to have something to do, something to be passionate about. You have to have a purpose. There's a bunch of podcasts about purpose. You got to if you don't have any purpose, what are you doing? Comfort's all well and good for a minute there, but you got to actually do something. So what do? We do this podcast. We go to concerts. That's what we do. You got to have a hobby. If you don't have a hobby that is interesting, and if it's not challenged, it's got to challenge you a little bit. You know, if you're not getting challenged in any way, shape, or form, you're gonna be depressed. You're gonna be cynical.
Absolutely.
You're gonna not be happy. You know, you're gonna
turn old and
we've almost
angry.
Made it okay to be depressed now too. You know, it's like okay, that's fine. He's depressed. Don't mind him. Oh, really? Well, let's get him some pills. What? What are you talking about? No, get him out in the sun, get him some exercise, and get him something to do. Think about it. Like they didn't even have time to be depressed years ago. You had shit to fucking do, man. What's this depression thing? They didn't even have. There wasn't no such thing 100 years ago. You had to fucking get up and get going. Depressed. Give me a break. Yeah. We're all depressed, okay? Cut the crap.
Do or die.
We all got ADHD.
Back then it was do or die, Johnny.
Do or die, buddy. Now it's not do or die because everybody will give you a meal or something, no matter what. You go down to the thrift store, you got some pretty good studs. Yeah. People giving you brand new stuff at the thrift store. They're like, "Why should I get a job?" Because you got to have something to do, buddy.
If you were in the care of the state, it's because someone said you were fucked in the head and they had you put in the fucking
when I become the voice of reason too, we got some serious problems out there.
Yeah. So that became
this is ridiculous.
Yeah, less than ethical situations were uncovered, so that's not as prevalent anymore. But maybe it should be.
Well, okay, that's different. No,
I mean, you hinted on the psychological aspects of seriously your expertise.
How do you do that? So that's a classic case of having it too good, too easy. Rob Reiner said, there's no, you got talent, you got opportunities, people that are talented. Usually it comes down, if your parents are talented, you think to yourself, well, if they could do it, I could do it. It's my family, it's my blood. So, talent's usually, and you got every access point. If your dad's Rob Reiner, you can do anything you want. You could be anywhere in the film industry you wanted to be. If you like photography, you be in the cameras. If you like build sets, if you like work with your hands, you do that. You could do direct films. He could have done anything. He had perfect access.
Apparently, he said, "You can't make me."
Well, most creative geniuses are partiers too. So he starts
hanging
partying.
out at Conan's party with him, but yeah.
Well, there's a little bit of, I don't want to give him an excuse. There's a little bit of. If your dad's a badass and it's hard to measure up, so what? Get over it. Yeah. Do something.
A lot of people
maybe you're better than your dad. Maybe you were better.
Exactly. Go on to try to, be a better person. So
don't feel guilty, don't none of that shit. Just use your advantages, use what you got, use what you get. Everybody's got something. And if you got advantages like that, then do something, man. You got it. But instead, people tend to drive themselves insane, and if you got it too good sometimes, you just, I don't know what.
Well,
I don't know
a lot of people,
how they do it. What are you thinking?
It seems there's a tendency to resist help at certain points of people's, pride or whatever, but I don't know.
People go to a fantasy world, I think, where it's like, a lot of times, like, oh yeah, somebody pisses you off, like, I'm gonna kill that guy, and maybe you even go into a fantasy in your head about something, some way elaborate way, like you're in like you're freaking Bruce Lee, and you're gonna kick his ass or whatever it is. It doesn't matter though. You think about that thing, then you move on with your life, and you don't do it. You don't think about it, plan it, do it. You just think about it for a minute. So wouldn't it be great to just do this and do that, and then play out the scenario in your head for a second if you need to, and move on with your life. We don't have time for this crap, man. It's like the life's too good, and there's too much out there. I mean, we got it made. So let's party. Let's have a nice day. What's the problem? I mean, it just makes no sense to me. It's like, we're so lucky. I mean, if you tried to explain the situation to anyone else in history, they'd be like, "Fuck you, man. We didn't." You can just get a burger like that. You can play some music. You can play any song you ever wanted to hear at the snap of your fingers. Then people are like, and you guys are complaining? Shut the fuck up already. You're depressed? We don't want to hear it. So you get a purpose, get your this really isn't an advice show, but I guess it turned into one.
Well, it seems
you got to do something, man. We can't do this. We're not doing this anymore, people.
The trend is that AI is going to be doing everything for everybody soon. So we got
to figure that out too, because
and have some fun while
what's
you're at
going to
it.
get more depressing if nobody has anything to do, because AI is doing everything for us. What are we supposed to do?
Well, yeah,
but you got to figure something out, some way to be.
I know I've got bad habits now that have a phone to fuck around.
Oh, we're
all
so
day.
addicted. They got us so hooked. But you can still. That's the other thing I love about podcasts. Most of them are positive. There's very few negative podcasts. Most of them are very motivational, very life hacks and motivational things. And here's what you can do with your life, and motivational and happiness, and you can do it. So that's what I do like about podcasts. Most
you
of them
have
are positive.
your other alter ego of Dr. McLaugh.
Dr. McLaugh is one of my other aliases.
Which is an extremely cool way to actually
join a laughing club,
embody what you're talking. Walk the walk. So
join a laughing club, man. Enjoy it.
Yeah, and this man has been doing it over.
That's right. When you're
more than a year now.
Body doesn't know the difference between fake laughter and real laughter. Either way, you get physiological benefits from it, and so you even a fake laugh, whenever something goes wrong, you ha 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 ha, and it literally changes every iota of your physiology, and it completely changes what you're thinking, who you are. You can change your reality like that. Easier said than done. I know this, but. So check out my Laughing Club videos as well. It's on the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And leave us comments of what you think about this whole situation, because it's just, especially during the holidays, it's just a nightmare. We do not want to hear this shit. We do not want this shit going on. We don't want. Come on, man.
People are here for each other. And
your parents raised your ass. They did everything for you. You quit fucking around. What are you talking about?
Yeah, when people are offering you
honor
help,
your mother and father.
It shouldn't be that way. So
come on now. Well, anyway, we were talking about Spinal Tap. We were talking about all kinds of things. We're just bullshitting today.
Yeah.
But check out Spinal Tap.
Come to
that's
the
it.
end
You
of
get depressed.
2025.
Throw out Spinal Tap. You get depressed.
Yeah, exactly. There's comedy in the world.
That's right.
Keeps
comedy keeps you sane. Music keeps you sane. Put on some. You get depressed. Put on some dang music. If you need to get some Linkin Park, get your angst out or something like that. And get your angst out. And have a nice day.
You can always identify with some song from the past, or hopefully there's something coming that next big thing you identify with. But again, it's always a mood altering.
Absolutely, you have to plan it. You have to plan on being. No matter how good you got it, I keep saying how good life is, but it's still tough for everybody. So it's planning it out. You know it's going to happen. You know you're going to get negative and depressed at some point. So have you're at the music at the ready. Have your comedy at the ready. Just be ready to do it, and then just have a way. You got to design a way to click into that gear where you're like, man, I'm going negative. What do I do? And get yourself right out of it. It's easier said than done. I know, but log in, subscribe to my channel, log in to Dr. McLaugh, and if things go south, music and laughter are pretty much the only two real, genuine things left in this life are music. A couple other things, but in general, music and laughter are the two that keep you sane, and they're real. Most people don't have a fake laugh. They just people just laugh how they laugh. Most people didn't say, well, how should my laugh be when I grow up? You just laugh.
Yeah, that is
and so
cool.
it's very natural, organic, and so plan it out. Know when you creep into or help people out. If you see your buddy or your son or daughter or whoever it is starting to head towards the negative, then throw on some music, throw on some comedy, bring them back to reality, because it's really not that bad. My law teacher in CSU said one time, he said, it was finals week, and we're about to break we had college days where we had a week off, and then we had the finals. And he said, guys, you guys stress over these finals way too much. He said, I was in Vietnam. He said, I learned in Vietnam, if nobody's trying to kill you, you don't really have any problems. So I'm like, it's pretty true.
Yeah,
So,
you can get.
unless you're right.
There are ebbs and tides when you.
Well, we're
the
going to
good
get through it
times
somehow.
there's always the bad times that have to come with it again and again.
We'll get through it, but I think,
Now and again.
I think part of it too, Ledbelly, I got to tell you, I think people don't give each other enough shit anymore. Everybody's coddled. They're coddled. Everyone lets everybody get away with things. Fuck that shit. I remember in high school, man. You're walking out the door. You look in the mirror, like, oh my god, my buddies are going to crucify me if I wear this jacket. Man, I'm not wearing this jacket. It looks terrible. And you go back in and change it, or your shirt, or any little thing. You're like, what your buddy, because your buddy, we give each other shit in a loving way, of course.
Don't become a target.
We'd like, oh, what, you get that hat at a dime store or whatever? What are you doing? Did you buy a new hat, buddy? We give each other shit all day, and we were better for it, actually, because we I don't know.
Well, that was it. True.
So go out and give somebody some shit.
Yeah.
Tell Johnny Condren said shit.
Let them know you love them by give them hell.
I don't know where this podcast is going, but let's wrap it up. Rob Reiner, we're sorry, buddy. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Thank you for
thanks for
the good
entertaining us.
stuff.
And even though you had TDS, we still love you. And man,
there was also the Australia massacre. There was something.
Come on, people.
Brown
We don't have time for this
University
crap,
the same
dude.
weekend. So
we do not have time for this crap.
yeah, I don't.
There's shit to do. There's fun to have. There's opportunities abound.
that don't have
there's
purpose,
no
like you're
reason.
saying. You got to have real purpose
pick
in
a
life.
purpose.
If you think your purpose is just to, have conflict, and you got to change.
Well,
your
that's
ways.
another thing people do. They love to create drama when there's enough drama in regular life. I'm telling you, drama we're just gonna come get you no matter what. So don't create drama when you don't need to create drama, for Christ's sake. People are losing their damn minds.
Yeah.
It's come on, we're not doing this anymore, guys. Johnny Condren says it's unacceptable by God. So let's thanks for watching. Leave a comment. Tell us what you think. Tell us about your Spinal Tap, and have a nice day. Rock
Cheers.
Johnny, Johnny, Johnny. Johnny, Johnny, Johnny.